Hi, boys and girls. Okay, Mrs. Walker's going to task you today with creating at least 4 patterns so that you can use your pattern finders on those patterns, okay? So this is just like a piece of paper that I found that had a really cool pattern. You are going to be creating 4, so Mrs. Walker's going to give you a giant piece of paper. I want you to fold it in half. And then I want you to fold it in half again, and that will give you 4 different areas to make patterns, okay? Now, depending on which school I'm at, Mrs. Walker has different kinds of stamps, a variety of stamps, and so here you can see I have some colored stamp pads. Some places I only have black stamp pads, but whatever we have, we're going to use. One of your patterns needs to be with stamps, okay? So these fold lines kind of show you I want to create a pattern here, a pattern here, a pattern here, and a pattern here. I want you to make 2 of your patterns with paint, okay? And then 1 pattern with the stamps and 1 pattern with crayons and markers, okay? So let's start with stamps. If you're using these stamps, be sure that you keep the stamps with the pad that they're with. So these 2 stamps are on the yellow pad. They need to stay with the yellow pad. Once you've stamped into the yellow, you don't want to be stamping into other colors. The yellow isn't as big of a deal, but if you were to stamp in the blue and then pick this same stamp up and stamp in the yellow, you're going to leave blue in the yellow and mess it up for everybody else. So don't do that, okay? So just pick a color. Let's say I want to start with the blue. I'm just going to move these aside so I can get to the blue. And the blue happens to have a shark and an elephant. Well, I don't want to use both of those. I think I just want to use the shark. So I'm going to take this off. I'm just going to take the shark one. And to make a pattern, pattern means that it repeats, right? So I have to do a repeated pattern, something that repeats. If I do the shark just over and over and over again, is that a pattern? Well, it's a repeated shark over and over again, shark, shark, shark. But I want to do a little bit more interesting pattern. So I'm going to leave a space. If I do the shark here, I think I'm going to use this bottom square to show you. And since he's long, I might turn it this way. All right, and I think I'm going to do shark, and then I'm going to leave a space, and then shark, okay? And then I'm going to go down here and think, okay, leave a space, shark, leave a space, and then I'm going to go down here and go shark, space, shark, and then I'm going to do a shark right here. So that leaves me some space in here to do a different stamp, okay? I'm probably only going to have room for 2 stamps, so now I need to find one that'll actually fit in there. When you're done with this, either set it in the lid if someone else is going to use it, or you want to get a paper towel. And, oh, I had one over here, but I think I moved it. Hold on just a second. Okay, I'm back. When you're done, you're going to want to, and probably I'll have some of these on the table for you to set it in there, so when we're not using them, they're blotted on something. And we'll use some wet wipes to wipe those off when we're completely done. All right, I'm going to set that one aside, and I'm going to do this one. And I know that I'm going to have trouble fitting it in that space, so I might have to have a little bit of overlap. So I'm looking at this shape, and it's round. It might overlap just a little bit, but that's okay. It'll still create a pattern, right, if I repeat it in between each of those sharks. So here we go. Could put a bird there too, but I like he's trying to bite the bird. But I kind of like this spirally shape, so I'm going to use this one. And I'm just going to put the spiral right here in between. Oops, that wasn't my best. That might be hard to line up. I'm going to try it though. There we go. I'm just going to put a little spiral shape in between each of my sharks, and that will be my first pattern. Okay, and when this is all dry, we can actually use it with our pattern finders, can't we? All right, there's my pattern. I don't have a paper towel for this one, do I? So I'm just going to have to put paper towel in each of the lids so that we have a place to blot these. All right, there we go. So that is stamping a pattern, correct? Now, another pattern I'd like you to try is with paint. And you could do pretty much any design you want with the paint. Mrs. Walker, a lot of times when I'm just want to relax, I just like to do stripes. So that's one of my go-to things that I do a lot of times. So you could take your take your paints and do just a repeated stripe pattern. Maybe I do green, and then I leave a space, 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 and do green, because I think I'm going to do more than one color. I'm not going to just do green and one other color. I'm going to do like 4 colors, I think. So I could do this, right? And then maybe I want to do dark blue right next to my greens. I'm going to do blue, 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 blue. Looks like I need another green up here, don't I? Green and blue. Alright. I want to do another green. Only this is light green. Do light green on this side. Alright, I'm really liking this. Now I could leave a little bit of white in there, couldn't I, if I wanted to? Or I could keep going. I could put a yellow stripe in there too, couldn't I? I think I will. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Do I have a pattern? Yes, I do. And what is my pattern? I hope you said my pattern is dark green, dark blue, light green, yellow. So to finish that off, it's, let's see, the dark blue, there was a light green between, so I can put dark blue here, but I got to get light green in between. And then dark green on the other side. There. All right, once you have your pattern figured out, then move on to something else, okay? Maybe instead of a striped pattern, and I'm going to do my paints on opposite corners so that this, since this is wet, it might run into my other one. So I'm going to do a different pattern over here with paint. I'm going to just do circles, do polka dot patterns, can I? If I do polka dots, and then I repeat that, maybe with a different color, or maybe I could do a different size polka dot, right? I could start with big pink polka dots, and maybe I could go down to little blue polka dots, maybe just dots. Maybe I should just dot around each polka dot, right? And then what else could I do? Let's see. So really it's just up to you what you want to do. Make lots of different patterns. I don't feel like this pattern's done, is it? I feel like I need to add something else. So I think I will. I'm going to make one more pink dot here and one more here. There. Yep. So what could you do with yours? Anything you want, as long as it's a pattern. Okay? Pattern just means some type of a repeated line or shape. Okay, right now I'm repeating what? I'm repeating a short dashed line around each of my light blue dots. They were supposed to be dots. They kind of look almost like this, don't they? Okay, make a repeated pattern, and then the fun thing is when we're all done, we can take our pattern finders and we can find our patterns. Isn't that fun? Let me move this up a little bit so you can see how cool that looks. Shirt. I've got a shark shirt on. Okay, now the last one. Remember I said you're going to use markers and crayons, so you're going to combine 2 different mediums. You could do anything you want. I'm going to actually do skinny stripes going this way. And then I'm going to do, actually maybe do skinny, I'll do skinny with this color. And then I think I'm going to repeat that, but with a marker. So with the marker, I'm going to do a fat stripe. My marker's almost dried out. That happens to you when I switch colors, right? There we go. What does this look like? What pattern? Anybody recognize that? I hope you said plaid. I'm not really liking that red too much. Maybe I should switch it to pink. Oh, that's better. So this is actually a plaid pattern, right? Intersecting stripes. See, I was going to do some blue going this way, right? I want to try to find, I'm trying to find the fat side of the marker. Uh-oh, that one's dry too. Better switch it out. If you find a dried out marker, and you're at Grant Wood with me, you know that we put those in the dried out marker bin, and I'm hoping that at Paul Norton, we put them in the dried out marker bin. Grant Wood, we need to start one because it's really cool. You can turn these dried out markers into liquid watercolor, and that's a fun way to get to use them more than once, right? I think I'm going to do one more stripe here and then I'm done. Alright, have fun making lots of different patterns. I'm having so much fun, I really don't want to stop. But I do need to stop because this video is getting kind of long. Alright, there you go. I'll end it with showing you how I look with my pattern. Alright, bye. Have fun.